right, welcome, my Earth and Star friends. Cosmic Goddess Blue Star here, giving you your cosmic energy update. And it has been a while since I've been on. Things have just been really busy. And today I just wanted to really do a final recap of everything that we've gone through this past year, because it's been a really powerful and transformative year, and go over a little bit sharing of the messages that did come forth with the 1212 channeling with the Highlight of Alakali, and how it kind of all ties in, because it does. It's all just pretty extraordinary. Everything that we've moved through this past year, it has been a dynamic year. She actually said to me in one of my downloads, actually after the channeling, that this was the big reveal year. So it definitely a lot of work we did. A lot of things came to the light, let's just say, this past year. And so let's get into it. And at the end, I'm going to share a little bit about some of the up and coming classes that I have here, and events and all that good stuff. So just try to hang on, listen to all of this, because it's going to bring everything together for you with just like a deeper understanding of everything that I've been talking about throughout the year, and how it has personally helped you and helped you transform this year. So let's just start from the messages that I received last year. Every year I get a downloaded information for the collective of what we're going to be moving through. And she said that it was going to be the year of hope. And, that really hit home for me personally this year, going through some little health issues, and really helped me to dig deep into that hope, and just the understanding around it, and why this particular situation, health situation, came up, and really what it helped me with. And it because everything that happens for a reason. It's these things that do come up in the physical, or just emotions that we have trapped within our bodies and our energy fields. So really addressing and getting to the core reason to it, why it is being presented, and healing it. We transform that, right? And that's where hope came in, and it was hold on to past emotions, right? Hold on to past emotions, even holding on to painful events, right? And hold on, pain ends. So those three right there, just utilizing that, that information helped me tremendously to go deep within myself and see what I was holding on to. What past events was I holding on to in my programming, in my body, right? And it all ties into this big year. And what past emotions was I holding on to, right? These painful emotions with maybe a painful event. And then hold on, pain ends. And it's just was it really just was really beautiful, like moving through all of those layers of unveiling, and coming to such an understanding after moving through that entire process. So hope was the theme for last year. And this year coming up, 2025, I will share just a little snippet, because it came through in the channeling of 1212, that this year is going to be the year of transparency and the year of power. So I'll get more into that. I'll do a separate talk on that as I get more information, and share that to you guys from the Highlight of Alakali. So let's just do a little recap again, about this year. We have hope. She also said that it was going to be the year of clarity and the year of really addressing our patterns and how we've escaped from our patterns. Now, if you've been following me through just maybe a couple little short talks throughout the year, but through a lot of the posts that I've been writing and putting out, it was like a veil lifted, like another layer of the veil, and the veil is very thin, and the more all these energies come in and help us, and we, the collective, clear all this, the veil gets thinner and thinner, and it's just like this whole symbiosis thing that occurs between that, right? So what did you escape? Like, what have you been not addressing, especially with emotions, right? And there's that hold on to painful emotions, right? So with your emotions, like what have you been running away from? Are you the person that just doesn't want to address situations? Do you not want to express yourself? Are you afraid to feel vulnerable? Right? So that, like, where in your emotions have you been escaping? And really utilizing the energy of the year to see very clearly the patterns around that and how we've escaped, right? I tend to just shy away, put it off, and be like, all right, out of sight, out of mind kind of thing, with certain circumstances, not all, because usually I'm balls to the wall kind of girl, and really very determined to get to the bottom and to the root of things. But there are certain experiences and situations where I've kind of, just put it on the back burner or didn't want the confrontation or anything like that. And of course, you guys know I talk a lot about the soul plan readings that I do. These were very specific karmic soul plan frequencies in my chart. So it all ties in together. That's why I'm always talking about people to have their soul plan chart done. The information is just priceless and is really just helps you tremendously in every area of your life. So I understood, especially by the end of, the last couple of weeks, by the end of the year, how these very specific vibrations through the reflections of the relationships that I have, how all this was coming up and how I've escaped some things, or I didn't address some things, or karmic contracts that needed to literally be closed once and for all, right? So that's the power of the soul plan, and that's the power of the year that we just had. So she said that we were going to really be able to see where maybe we couldn't before. We were a little clouded, or maybe for those who are just really starting this path of acknowledging and taking a look at these aspects within themselves and the dynamics of their relationships, and they had more courage to do so, right? So we all have to start somewhere. So this was a big year for that, for people really seeing where they're holding on to these painful events and these painful emotions, and how that it's all coming up to be revealed, to be healed, right? That's the ultimate goal, is hold on, pain ends. So yeah, so really powerful year with that, definitely. Another thing with the energies of 2024 was boundaries. So you just sit and think about that in all the areas of your life that you have really put boundaries up, and just really secured more your energy field with boundaries. That was a big thing that I went through too, especially with in my practice. I really had to start putting forth really very, very solid, boundaries with, who or what I give my energy to, right? So that was like a whole reevaluation, and that's what she was saying. It's like the year of the big reveal. It's like all these very, clear, just extreme clarity with so many areas of your life surrounding your emotions, surrounding your boundaries, right? So and just how you've been escaping, You know, there's all sorts of forms of escapism out there, you know, push it under the rug, pretend it's not there. You know, some people, you know, eat, some people, you know, gamble, some people, you know, drink or smoke or whatever, you know, but really think on how you have escaped. Like by what means have you escaped or used escapism, I should say, to not address these big issues. So that was really big. Another thing was about the identity. Okay, so I talked about this throughout the year, and that ties into the 11 energy, the month of November, because 11 is the energy of like the 11th dimension and has to do with our identity. So you were also seeing throughout the year how basically how you see yourself, how your identity, right? And also how others see you, or if they have had um, like held you to an old identity. I saw that definitely with a couple of people in my world, um, and was recognizing what was going on through this whole process. But so it is where maybe we've taken on a false identity, right? Maybe it's like through the family structure, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, that, you know, that's not me. That's, you know, maybe like those beliefs were passed, you know, placed on us, and we took that on as our identity, but we're questioning that, right? So wherever you are in that level of your journey, you know, will show up for you. So that was really big this year with the identity, and really seeing the mirror reflections, right? Because if you think, you know, 11, the energy, the power of identity. It's a 1-1. It's a mirror reflection. So seeing your reflections in how others and your relationships and this whole mirroring process through that, right? So that was like a really big part of this year. So really big transformation for a lot of us, and really honestly for mankind, because we had this whole energetic energy like that, you know, Alakali was saying, with the hope and this the big reveal and seeing these patterns, you know, in order to get to the next level of, you know, where humanity really needs to go. We really got to face our shit, right? I say it to my husband all the time, you know, I should just get a shirt made up that, you know, face your shit. But you know, it comes a point in time like you have to face what you came here to face. And that was one of the messages that came through on the 1212 channeling with Alakali. Like, you're gonna have to face what you eventually what you came here to face. You know, you can only escape, there's the year 2024, for so long until it really comes up and starts revealing. There's the big reveal, to the point where it was like such clarity, like you can't run from it anymore, right? But, you know, it also goes into how we shifted from Pluto into Aquarius, because this is all about our identity. And you're going to be redefining your identity, and how the world is like the identity of the world with the structures and all of that. But I'll get into that in a moment. But you see, everything is so divinely orchestrated, and all of these astrological transits and, you know, portals are coming in. It's all divinely orchestrated, and it all, like, if you really sit and put it all together, it's just like a beautiful map, you know, and it's there. It's like a blueprint, like the soul plan. It's like the blueprint of your soul's you know, mission here. So we're moving into this Pluto of Aquarius, and it's all about restructuring and coming into this unity, and really addressing the relationships, not only the relationship, of course, with you have with yourself, because that's going to, it really starts with you, right? It's going to mirror out into all the relationships that you have. And that's actually where the boundaries come in too, right? If you're giving a certain aspect or part of yourself or energy of yourself to other people and you're not being met with that, you're really reevaluating all of that. And that's what this last year was, and moving into, you know, moving closer and closer with each day and each month of this year into this huge transit of Pluto going into Aquarius. So you're going to reevaluate your relationships. You're going to go through these, excuse me, like emotional upheavals and really get to the deep-seated issues, right? Because we got to move into this whole energy of the new age, of the age of Aquarius. These old structures, these old identities they're not going to fit. They're going to be, pieces of the puzzle that no longer fit, right? So we had that about this, like everything with the year, right? So then let's just go into the messages that I received for the 12/12 portal, which was just remarkable. It was just the energetics, and the energies, or I should say, that we were experiencing here were just off the freaking charts. And lots of things came forth during that evening. Major light body shifts. Well, just kind of to backtrack, in the 1111 portal, I was guided to do with the group a lot of pineal and pituitary gland, basically clearings with the old structures that were in there. And it actually led to the 12/12 because we worked with the mouth of God, goddess chakra, which is the back of the head here. So I'm going to go into a little bit of that, but I just want to explain the significance of the number 12. There's so much energy around the number 12. Just the fact that, we have the 12 zodiac signs, right? We have, I'm trying to remember the 12 chakras. In the 1111 portal, I work a lot with the light body and helping people basically integrate their higher self into their physical body, right? So that process has to do with the whole light body being activated, which is what I assist with, and in that integration through that whole entire process, because there's many layers and levels that you go through the whole light body process. So we have the 12 oxytonal lines that come, the vertical lines that come through the body that run along like the meridian points of the body. And it brings in, through like spin points, these higher dimensional frequencies that we're receiving from all of these light codes, right? All these portal astrological shifts. We have the Schumann resonance that's recording all of that. So everything, again, is working together for this, for the greater good, right? So, like the 12 apostles, right? The 12 knights at the round table. I mean, you can really just go into seeing all of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Meanings around the number 12, right? There's a divine number. Okay, so, with that, we worked with the God chakra, which is called some people call it like the Alta Major chakra. Some people call it the Zeal Point chakra. Some people call it the Ascension chakra, but it's at the base of the skull. So when this starts to awaken, you can feel like for me, like a tingling sensation, and at times really like a burning sensation. Like almost a decade ago, I remembered this happening and just sitting in bed watching TV with my husband and just being like, what the freak is this? Like, what is going on? Because it's different than a neck ache. It's completely different. It just feels different. It just like, you would go to the doctor and they're not going to see anything, because it's a whole thing that's happening within your energetic field. So it's a really cool, thing, but it can be a little uncomfortable too, because what it's doing, it's opening up. It's like a merging point or entrance point, if you will, where God source energy, like hooking you up to like the higher dimensions, is coming in. So that's like when I do these channelings, I am always like rubbing my neck at the end, because I'm basically like hooked up and bringing forth all this, very high vibrational energy, God source energy, to get into trance and bring forth, the messages. So it's basically like a divine gateway to the higher realms. But there have been, throughout time where we have these implants basically that get placed in these. You could be in the pineal gland and the pituitary gland, or any part or any chakra. You can have these imprints or even implants. So what I work with Alakali in these classes is really moving through, removing the portals, removing the entities, removing the imprints, anything that's basically keeping you from stepping into your highest aspect, right? So whether it's been placed there within the energetic field, or you picking stuff up in astral, 3D, matrix, whatever, so we do always go and start clearing that out, and then bringing in the highlight, and then basically replacing that. So that would be like the best way to describe that. But so nonetheless, it is a major chakra that is not often talked about. A lot of people do not know about. It does connect you to the pineal gland and the pituitary, which is also why they had me work on the 1111. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know we were going to be doing this clearing until it gets downloaded, for the 1212. But extremely powerful, and it does work with your parasympathetic sympathetic system and your sympathetic system. So that's your fight or flight, right? So calming down the whole system and your rest and digest. So it does have a direct connection to that. And grounding, really just grounding frequencies, in, so you can open up. Okay, so going into a little bit about, I just want to mention two things, or a couple of things. She said during the channeling that when I do the light language codes, that they are of a frequency of 144. Now, 12 times 12 is 144, and there's great significance to the 144. I've had my own personal initiation many years ago, with the God seal being energetically burned basically into my forehead, and hearing to go, from source to here to look up this meaning in the book of Revelations, which I've never read, but lo and behold, it was where people will be marked with this God seal, who will be basically helping other souls ascend, connecting to the Christ consciousness energy. I didn't know any of this and what this all meant, or how it was going to play out for me. I just, I follow the breadcrumbs. I have my experience, they tell me, and then you're always brought to really understanding what's taking place. And then of course, throughout the years, there's more and more that is revealed during this whole process, right? So it is known as the frequency of love. It's basically, it stimulates, actually the 144 frequency stimulates the pineal gland too as well. It balances the whole chakra system. It's like the harmonic frequency basically of the energy field. So it's a really important frequency to connect with and work with. It's just unifies your whole frequency field, right? It's known as the harmonic unifier. And in all of these channelings that we do, we're working with the light body to unify you in the unified field of light, basically. So I thought that was so freaking cool that she said that. So it makes perfect sense too, because my whole connection with the 144 and being initiated with that frequency so many years ago. So we have 12 times 12 is 144. We also, if we look at it as, 1 plus 2 is a 3, and then the other 12 is also a 3, so that's 33. That brings in the Christ energy right there, right? So now if you also add 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2, it comes into a 6. And the 6 is, well, the 6 is like the Akashic realm in a sense. It's opening up for new timelines. So that's what we were doing. We were bringing in all of these energies that creates these new timelines in your Akashic field. Higher timelines, right? Because new identity timelines, and it brings it down into the 3, the third dimension. So there's, if you look at the 3-3, that's bringing in the third dimension, right? And then if you add it together too, you get the 6, that brings in that. So, pretty freaking cool, right? And we know 33 is like the number of the divine love Christ teachings, right? So it's what I've been initiated with. It's the embodiment of the Blue Rose retreats that I do and any of the classes that I do here, because it does have to do with activating the Christ within. Okay, so it's not the second coming of Christ that's going to occur. It has everything with doing, awakening yourself to your own Christ within, what he embodied: love, unity, compassion, understanding, wisdom, all of that, right? Now, another thing that Alakali mentioned is that the 33 is the embodiment, not just Christ in a male aspect, but in the embodiment unification. If you want to look at just like the number 3 as one representation of like the male principle, the Christ male, right? And then the feminine. So we all have male, feminine energies within. Our goal to be unified, to be a fully actualized, multidimensional being of light. So what she said is that we need to embody both. This is what my Blue Rose retreats all do, and through all of the ceremonies that we do and the activities and channelings and everything that we do here. It's about unifying, coming into balance with your divine feminine and the divine masculine within. You will not ascend, you will not integrate. This is just basically the law of unification until you hold both of those energies in balance within, okay? And how you do that is you go through the heart, right? It's all in the avenue of the heart. You have to heal the heart, which is what this big year had everything to do, why it was such a big year for humanity, right? Not escaping from our emotions and really moving into the heart. You have to do the heart work. So, okay, so let me just gather my thoughts here, because now here are the messages that also came forth. That we are moving through a, basically like a new era, right? So we're this revolutionary change of consciousness. And what we're doing is people are questioning the old ways of thinking and the old ways of behaving, right? These are those identities, right? So this is not an alignment anymore. So they're starting to like feel like the little shift with that and starting to address this. It's imperative. It's like, it is absolutely crucial that in order to get to this place, to utilize these energies, you have to release and let go, right? That's what I said earlier. We have to let go of these old patterns and these old wounds. This is hope, holding on to painful events or painful emotions, right? All ties into just another piece of the puzzle just coming together. And the identity, right? How, like what I mentioned, like mankind basically is at this pivotal movement, she said, that where the collective consciousness is awakening, and we see it, right? So they're awakening to their identity, their true identity. This is why you're going to go through all those layers in the light body and move through all this process of like what we went through this last year with the message from Alakali about addressing these issues, seeing how we identify with ourselves, really so we can move through the process of getting to our true identity, which is our divine spark. It's a whole other talk. But yeah, our divine spark, which is our God spark, which is the God consciousness that we all connect to. Our light body has a consciousness of its own. It's Merkaba, has a consciousness of its own, I should say. And within that individual spark that you have, we all, in unity, all are part and have the same God source spark within us. So even though we have this whole individual aspect of ourselves, we share all together this whole God source energy. And this was all coming through on just the channeling. It was just absolutely beautiful. And if we even look at the number 12 again, just to kind of bring that back around, it's our first expression of separating from our angelic self, as when we're basically decided that we're going to reincarnate. We go through a whole process of moving through the dimensional energies, from our light body, from source, to breaking off like that angelic aspect, to our first individual experience as just one, right? That individual experience and what our purpose is here, right? So it's why 1112 is so, these months are so powerful, because you're going through all of this whole identity restructuring to get to you to the 12, which actually is my birthday, 1112. And this is why I do the work that I do and offer to all of you here, and how it's assisting all of you, because I'm really working with you on such a deep level with the 11th dimension frequency and the 12th dimensional frequency. So to get you to this basically your actual fully actualized multidimensional self, right? So bring in an 11 and 12 right there into your field. Okay, so she said that, the veil is really thin, so we're going to utilize this information. People around the world are going to start questioning really their own beliefs, and the world around them. And we are seeing that, right? We're seeing that where we're having these powerful energetic waves come in, and what they're doing is they're revealing, right? The big reveal. It's revealing these layers of these deep-seated, darker aspects. So she said, we're seeing the dismantling of these old structures, right? We're seeing the dismantling of a false idolization, right? You see that going on in the world today with all the celebrities, right? Just think about like P. Diddy, what's going on with that, and all of the structures that have been in place that held this old structure, right? So this is why the whole dismantling of that. And we need to, as anchors of light, this is what she said, as anchors of light, we need to hold the space of neutrality through this. It's very important that we hold neutrality as we watch the dismantling of these systems and new ones rise. So really powerful stuff going on. Okay, so I think I about covered everything that I wanted to, and we're at 32 minutes. So just keep everything that I said in mind about we're in this year-end review now. It's December 18th. So we're going to definitely, the fact that, by the way, of course, just think of everything being divinely orchestrated. Of course, we had Mercury retrograde, right? At the beginning, it just ended actually. But perfectly aligned at the year end, because what does Mercury retrograde do? It gives you that opportunity to see more, to look back. You'll get triggered again, maybe old patterns coming up, right? Old ways of escaping, and all these little things will start showing up for you to review during the year-end review. So thank you, Mercury retrograde, for, doing your job and helping us, heal. Right? It could be a little uncomfortable. That's another thing she said. It's going to be a little uncomfortable looking at all of these things, but we have the courage. And the year, and I'll get into it in another talk, but this year is going to be about power and transparency. So it's going to be the year of transparency, and I'll go into that more at the beginning of the year. But there you have it, my friends. There's your cosmic energy update for the year, wrapping it all up. I do have a couple of really magical classes on the calendar. We have on, I think, January 11th, that's 111. I'm going to be doing an angel certification with the Angels of IET. And what that really is where we're going to be working with each individual angel of IET. There's 9. And you're going to receive a very specific healing, because they all govern an imprint that we hold in our energy fields, right? So you're going to have your own personal experience with them. And then if you ever decide that you do want to go into the actual modality of IET and take level 1, 2, and 3, you're going to have this great connection with these angels and really understand. But if you don't feel that you are ready to ever, do that, or it's just not the time, receiving this healing is incredible. I actually had a woman call me the other day just thanking me. I haven't spoken to her since that class last year, and she said it changed my life. She's like, the messages that came forth and the things that you were sharing, and there were a couple specific things that I shared with her. She's like, but it changed her life, and that's the power we're in right now. They're really such wonderful times. So we do have that class on January 11th. January 25th, I believe it is. It's the Friday where the 7 planets are aligning. This is a major astrological event. So one, you should not miss this class because it's going to be really powerful. However, whatever comes through, but the fact that we're going to be connecting to these energetic signatures of each one of these planets, but you're going to be able to view them in the night sky, is going to be extraordinary. And then January 29th is when we're going to be having the first level of IET. And I think I actually only have like 2 more spots left of that. We got like 10 or 11, 12 people or something like that. So, but there'll be another one in the future, no worries. Now, what is coming, I haven't put it up, and I'm hoping to get to it today, is another round of the Galactic Starseed Activation classes. And that's going to be the 3 or 4 weeks, looking at it to start in February on Thursday evening. And that is just a whole exploration of the stars and the races and the energetics, and having a personal activation and connection to each one of these beautiful star energies and star races. So that will definitely be a really powerful and fun experience, and you can awaken to the idea of your own personal star seed or star origins, because we have lived in other places, just not here on Earth, right? So there's many different realms, there's many different dimensions where, and different planets that you have been on and have had lives on, so, and come from. So going through the whole process and the characteristics and the energies of each one of these, you'll get definitely a clearer understanding of your true star origins, which is really always fun. And then I will be doing another round of the psychic skill building angel card certification classes. And even if you've taken that before, you are more than welcome to come and join in, because it's only going to enhance and further enhance your skills that we worked on during that class. And that's where we're going to work with each of the angels and really get to understand how they connect with you, what your strong psychic abilities are, and how you're going to utilize that with connecting with them and other energies as well, to do readings on yourself or to others if you ever decide that you want to do that. And then we do really fun, cool skill building exercises, and you guys get paired up with a homework buddy and you do the exchange and readings on each other. And it's just a beautiful time, beautiful connection here, the Sanctuary of Grace. So there you have it, my friends. There is all the information for the classes coming up for this big year, this year of transparency and the year of power, and a recap of 2024. So with that, I hope you have a beautiful, blessed day, and namaste.